How dare they? What is Disney thinking? Hi, I'm Laura from Your Little Sisters Productions, and I love to talk about movies and storytelling in general. And today I'm very frustrated at this turn of events. It's no secret that the live action remake of Snow White by Disney has been facing some backlash for quite some time. The comments from Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, along with Peter Dinklage's incorrect comments about the dwarfs' living arrangements and lack of individuality, and Disney seeming to remove the dwarves not just from the title of the film, but the film itself entirely, has resulted in a lot of discourse both online and in the news cycle. But this newest development is somehow even more insulting than what has come before this. Disney released a new promo photo for their live action Snow White remake, along with the announcement that they would be releasing the movie in March of 2025, a whole year later than originally planned. And this picture features some very large headed, unrealistic CGI of dwarves surrounding Rachel Zegler's Snow White character. How dare they? They would rather spend more money on CGIing these horrible looking dwarfs than hire 7 actors with dwarfism. Instead of giving actors from a marginalized community who already have a hard enough time finding roles in big budget films the chance to play heroes in the remake of the most successful animated movie of all time, based off one of the most well-known fairy tales, they removed the mention of the dwarfs from the title and used this CGI instead. The 7 dwarfs in the Snow White fairy tale are heroes. Without them, Snow White wouldn't have her happy ending, and the evil queen would have lived. They are the ones who chase the evil queen to her death. They are the ones who keep Snow White safe for an entire year until the prince comes along and unknowingly breaks the curse. The original movie title is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs because the people making it recognized the importance and role of the dwarves in the story. The dwarves are great characters with personality and character arcs and heroic acts. They deserve respect. And to see the studio that they helped build into one of the most successful entertainment companies ever turn around and disrespect their place in the story like this is unbelievable. Disney is not only disrespecting the story itself, they are disrespecting and grossly misunderstanding the roles of the dwarves in the story. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs is the reason they are who and what they are today. And all in the name of what? Inclusivity? Because all I see are people not being allowed to be seen in a major big budget film. Actors with dwarfism already get so few roles in these big budget movies as it is. This would have been a wonderful opportunity to employ and give a chance to some of them, an opportunity many of them would love to have to help their career along. The only live action Snow White movie I have seen that actually cast actors with dwarfism in it to play the 7 fantasy dwarfs is Mirror Mirror. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out and see what you think of it. It's like the Oompa Loompas from the new Willy Wonka movie. They would rather cast someone that they have to spend money CGIing than give actors with dwarfism a chance at that role. These are roles that they would love to take because, one, it means they would have a paycheck, a job, doing something they're passionate about, and two, it could lead to other acting roles in the future. And I'm sure that many in the little people and dwarfism community would be happy to come out and support movies that have actors with dwarfism in them. It would be a major breakthrough for the members of their community who want to be in the entertainment industry. Disney would rather delay their movie and spend money on the CGI than admit their mistake in not having the dwarves in the remake in the first place. I'm sorry to be so harsh on the CGI, but it really doesn't look good to me. Does anyone else think it looks good? Honestly, let me know what you think of it, because to me, it looks really bad. I'm a little in shock that a company with the resources and reach that Disney has released it intentionally looking that way. Maybe it will look better by the time the film releases, but I just can't believe they released that picture and are spending more money on this movie. Making money from a movie doesn't just mean making more than the budget it took to make the film. You have to make at least 2.5 to 3 times more to account for how much you spend on marketing, paying the distributors, and in the case for Disney, merchandise expenses, especially since they have a habit of releasing merchandise well before the release of the movie. For example, I've been seeing merchandise for the upcoming film Wish for a while now, and I remember seeing Encanto dolls and clothing before its release as well. All of that costs money, and the more they spend on one movie, the more they need to make at the box office just to break even. It's why their Little Mermaid remake barely made them any money, because even though it made a lot more than it cost to make, they spent so much making it in the first place, along with all the other expenses involved, that I wouldn't count it as a huge financial success for them. There was a time when everybody would go out and see the new Disney movie in theaters and enjoy it. They made good, entertaining movies, but now they are losing money and at faster and faster rates than ever before. So why spend more money on a movie already ridden with so much strife and controversy? I feel as if so many of the decisions Disney have been making go against common sense. It's almost as if they are trying to fail at this point. It's hard to see it any other way. And it makes me sad to watch, as I grew up really loving Disney. I still love so many of their movies. It hurts to see them go down this path. Are they trying to pull the producer stunt on the public or something? Intentionally make something bad in order to gain money from it somehow? I just don't understand what they are trying to do or why. And I am so sad to see them keep making these weird mistakes over and over and over again. I am so sad to see them remake so many of their original movies and completely misunderstand what made them entertaining to watch in the first place. They are such a large and well-known company with so much history and support behind them, and yet they have been flailing in capturing the same magic they had in the past. They have the resources to go all over the world and find new stories from so many different countries and cultures, and they have been so known to do that for so long. Take these old fairy tales and folklore stories and mythologies and turn them into entertaining animated movies that the whole family could enjoy. Why won't they take advantage of their connections and money and reach and do that again? Introduce the world to these amazing stories from all over the world, or create more original stories. I know they have Wish coming out soon, which, as far as I know, is an original story. And that's one I actually have some hopes for. But as far as their live action remakes, I am done. It is so frustrating and sad to watch their downfall happening in real time. I don't know if Disney just doesn't want to continue making fairy tales because they don't want to, or because they think people are tired of fairy tales. But I know I'm not tired of them. I like fairy tales and all the lessons and values they represent. Sure, the love stories aren't super fleshed out, but that's because that's not the point of them. The point of fairy tales were to teach children good values in an entertaining way, but also in a way that scared them away from traits such as greed, selfishness, and evil doing in general, and instead to steer them toward kindness, generosity, gratitude, hard work, and hope for the future. Yes, some of them had some pretty gruesome things happening, such as the stepsisters from Cinderella cutting off their toes, or the evil queen in Snow White dancing to her death in red hot shoes. And Disney wisely decided to not have those darker aspects in them to make them more family appealing. But that doesn't mean that the entire fairy tale needs to be thrown out the window or changed. The main lessons were still there in their stories. But it seems as if current Disney doesn't want to go back to those good versus evil stories anymore. They would rather make their already established villains sympathetic, or even full on good guys, like in the case of Maleficent, than leave them be and let those stories stand as they are. What is so wrong with these fairy tales that they have to update them? Why can't they just trust their audience, that their audience can understand symbolism and deeper meanings and life lessons? Why do they believe that everything has to be updated and spelled out for us? Why are they claiming to be for minorities and marginalized groups, but not casting one of the most marginalized groups in Hollywood in one of the most well known fairy tales ever? Make it make sense. You know what's a good modern fairy tale movie that also includes an actor with dwarfism in it without making his dwarfism a main point for his character or the movie? Penelope, which just so happens to have Peter Dinklage in it. Remember that one guy that made comments about how the dwarves live in a cave and have no personality and got the dwarves removed from the film in the first place? Yeah, He's in Penelope, one of my personal favorite movies, and it is very much a modern fairy tale with great life lessons. In it, Peter Dinklage plays a reporter, just a regular guy doing his job who holds a grudge and helps the plot move forward and has a great character arc. Not once is his size mentioned or used for comedic purposes. That is what we should be seeing more of in movies, not less. And giving actors with dwarfism a big acting break by letting them being in this live action remake from one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world would have been a great starting point for so many careers. I don't understand why they're making some of these remakes, such as Dumbo or Bambi or Lady and the Tramp. I saw very little, maybe even zero marketing for the Dumbo remake or the Lady and the Tramp remake. I don't know about the Bambi remake yet, we'll see. But why make these movies and give them so little attention and just plop them onto their money-sucking subscription service? Maybe Dumbo was in theaters, I wouldn't know because I saw zero advertising for it. And their remakes are not as good as the original versions. It's as if they have forgotten how to tell an entertaining story. And with us having the original to compare these remakes to, it makes it all the more glaringly obvious that they aren't putting the same care into these new movies as they did in the past. Why don't they just leave these movies be and move forward? They have had more success with that than their remakes. Look at Coco and Encanto and Elemental. I enjoy all three of these original movies from them. I did my In Defense of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs video a while back because I felt so passionately about the lies being spread and I wanted to help set the record straight. At the end of the day, I am okay if you don't like the 1937 Snow White film. But let's not lie about aspects of the story in an effort to make your remake of it seem better. How disrespectful can you get? No, the prince was not a stalker. No, the dwarves did not live in a cave. But people want to say these bad things about these older movies because they're old? Because they misunderstand the meaning of the story and its symbolism? Or because they don't have enough faith in the new movies, they have to bash the old one to make the new movie seem better in comparison. All of this to say, Disney seems to be drowning in financial troubles. They're not making money from their streaming service. They have bloated budgets for their movies, making it harder to make money off of them, even if it is a good movie. And instead of listening to feedback from fans and what fans really want, and instead of going back to what worked so well for them for so long, they just keep making these choices that defy common sense. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think we'll see another Disney Renaissance era in our lifetime, or is Disney going down the drain for good? What do you think of their upcoming movie Wish? I'm excited for it, but we'll see what happens when it comes out. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, check out our original audio drama, Adventures of the Dragonborn, and subscribe to see more content like this from us. Thank you so much for watching.